Hi, welcome to Above Life Channel. The purpose here is to inspire your spirit and to fill you with hope. We're going to do a sound check this morning. I know it's Tuesday, and usually I try to show up on Mondays, but yesterday was kind of a tricky day. And I'm like, you know what? Instead of trying to force this to happen, I'm just going to put it on Tuesday when I have time to really connect and be with you today. So if you don't know who I am or what I do for my work, I've been a psychic medium for 20 years. It'll be 20 years this October. Yes, I have a psychic birthday. It's October 1st. And maybe if you're around for that, we'll have a little party, have a little cake, and really celebrate that and connect. And I'll share some stories about my psychic journey. I'm also a inspiring coach. I do work with other people who are healers and coaches and people who are just in transitions and times of change as well. So I'm also actually a certified life coach. So been doing that since before it was cool, back in like 2006. Yeah. It's been a while, you guys. It's been a wild ride. So let's do a sound check here. Make sure that you all can hear me. Our topic today is third eye blue. Wearing my blue today. You probably can't quite tell because the light is kind of funky as we're changing into the autumn season. The light kind of shows up differently in the office space here, but feeling into the energy of the third eye, talking about that. I thought I would talk about that a little bit today because it came up in our Sunday morning coffee podcast. I will preface this conversation that we're having right now with the fact that I've had some internet glitches the last couple days. And so if you are part of my Sunday morning coffee podcast on Sunday morning and I cut out and I kept talking for like 10 more minutes, I was connecting with you in spirit, etherically. So if we have some of that happen here, it's just, I don't know what's up. I mean, maybe it's a Mercury retrograde. I have no idea. I'm not the astrologer. I have an astrologer friend. I'm not the astrologer here in my psychic friend group. That's not my jam, but I thought I would talk about the third eye and the energetics of really simple ways how we interact and engage with our intuition, because you are psychic, you are. And I am so tired of this kind of us and them vibe, the separation of like having the psychic work be this like thing that people are reaching for and trying to get to, this like plateau of expertise and um, business success, maybe even, or this kind of climb in regards to the spiritual community now and the spiritual work as practitioners and things. I am so exhausted by this feeling of like levels, like hierarchy. It's just not it's just not a thing. Okay, it's just not a thing. All right, you who are watching this, you are empathic. That's why we're connected, right? 2024 on Above Life Channel is the year of the empath, and it is my just heart-based it is my heart-based mission this year to support you and encourage you to utilize your heart sensory energetics as intuition, your feelings, to understand that the depression and anxiety isn't something that is a punishment for you. It is a awareness. Like, wake the fuck up. You are getting bombarded with energy because you are so psychic. You don't have to be a psychic. You don't have to be the next Teresa Caputo or whoever's cool nowadays. I don't really know who's like the cool ones. You don't have to be that. It's not like you're chosen. Let me choose you. Boink. Like, you waiting for the promotion, honey. Don't be waiting for the promotion. You co-create your life with your spirit. And your spirit's trying to tell you that it wants to support your heart and it wants to be in partnership with you. And you are psychic. You don't have to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to somebody else to tell you what's going to happen in your life, because you have wisdom inside you. What you should do is be very smart about your investment of time and energy with a support network of a counselor, of healing practitioners, maybe a massage therapist, or somebody that does some cranial sacral work, or somebody that does some energy work that you feel your soul feels trusted with, and a coach and a potential psychic or spiritual advisor that helps you walk the path of your intuition, that encourages you to trust and support your heart knowing. Okay, that's the point, is to learn how to connect your intuition with your empathy and work it for your best life, and use the tools like vibrational tools like crystals and rocks and card decks to help guide you into your own wisdom. You are a psychic for yourself. You know, the barrier usually is the trust, and the barrier usually is the structure that is created of us versus them, and people who are so much better than me, and value, questioning our value and our worthiness. That's why we can get into unfortunate power dynamics that are not balanced, where we put our trust in somebody else to tell us what to do, whether that be to our counselor, to our partner, to a parent, to a psychic. Because like somebody knows something that you don't know. Yeah, they know lots that you don't know, because it's not their business, your business. They have a different life. They have a different lens. They are still human, so they will filter in a way that is unique to them, which is beautiful because it gives you perspective. So where does the third eye come in here? The third eye is a place that I love. Third eye is like, girl, that's my home base. I go to the third eye over and over and over again, because that is just the normal way that I connect and communicate energetically, spiritually, etherically. That is my jam. That is my genre of psychicness. Okay. So I am so revved up about this. I am so revved up about this because I am so tired of seeing people like jump on live streams for people and ask questions and then be all dependent and codependent on somebody that shows up with a card deck and is like, hey, you've never met him before, but you're randomly asking them a question because you're just desperate to know something about your ex-lover or what have you. And it's really that's a distraction for you. That is a distraction away from your own wealth of wisdom and accountability for your personal life and new choices that you get to make, not criticism or punishment. We're too busy punishing ourselves for past mistakes that we appear to have made, but really we've gathered evidence and experience about ourselves. And the goal in this life experience has been to create the wisdom platform that you can tap into for yourself. And then for you, this empathy place, this empathic, energetic, which is what is so important this year, 2024 year of the empath, is the place that you can utilize and express and distill your psychicness. Okay. This is where we're all connected, is in the heart. It is. Even people who you think are bad people or narcissists or whatever labels. I don't know what the labels are, you guys. What are the cool labels? I don't know. There's a lot of categorizing and separating. And the thing is in our hearts, energetically and etherically as spirits, we're all really connected and swimming around in the ethos together. Okay. And so the desperation or the fear or The feelings of inadequacy or not enoughness is what causes us to reach out to strangers or to reach out to somebody that has a card deck and seems, or, and I sound kind of judgy, I guess, a little bit with that. What do I mean by that? Let's feel into my body. And I'm looking at my third eye is showing me people, like literally people, random people on the internet, like on TikTok, especially. There's all these people with just card decks and they show up and they go, hey, okay, so Venmo me some money and oh, thank you so much. Buy me a coffee, give me a thing. And they're like just practicing their skill set. And it is up to you to feel into the heart based connection that you may or may not have with them, right? It's like, stop looking outside of ourselves for that expertise that is within you, that only knows you like you know you. You are the expert. And we've got to have more confidence in ourselves to recognize that. And we have to be smart to build a team of support in our structure, like a good counselor, a good coach, a good psychic, or a good spiritual advisor, or a great energetic healer. Like build a team that supports that for you to do that, to know that. Okay. Because otherwise we're just distracting. Empathic energy, intuition, psychicness has been started to become a way to distract us from our own choices and to kind of cut us some slack on being responsible in co-creating our lives. You create your future. You have choice. You do have freedom in that. You definitely do. And lots of opportunities for change and shift and growth and empowerment and inspiration. So I hope that you're going to find that as we talk here. But I am so revved up about this because I'm like, come on, it's time to trust yourself inside. It's not about a right answer. It's about, what do you want for your life? How do you make that? Step by step, gently, slowly, through the energetic momentum of flowing energy that's positive, emotions that are supportive of yourself, not, oh, this person knows more than me, or I'm not enough, or I'm going to beat myself up because who do I think I am, or imposter syndrome, or whatever it is that you struggle with. Instead of the getting away from that and using other people's stuff to get a quick hit of psychicness and feel goodness about life, how about you focus on clarity? How about you focus on the power that lives within you, the psychic living within you, and then getting support and validation with your circle of support that you've already set up, not because you're in desperate mode and want to know about that ex. Okay. If you are asking me, if we do a session and you ask me if your partner is cheating, it means there's a bigger issue than whether or not they actually are cheating. Okay. A way bigger issue. And the only thing that you can impact is you. So why are you asking that? Why are you asking that? And what are you doing in response to the feelings that you are having about that? Where is the distrust? Where is the loyalty questioning and the integrity piece and the respect piece and the uncertainty and the imbalance within you? You. Where is the need to control? Where is the need to know? What is that coming from? Is that a fear of abandonment, rejection, loss? Is that something you got to be working through with the counselor and not a psychic? Maybe it's not the partner's issue. Maybe it's a you issue. Okay. Most of the time, that's the only place we have impact, power, and control over. Okay. Is our domains, right? Like this heart space gives us a lot of info. It is very, very psychic. So, how do we discern that and work with that? So, for me, my home base, like I said, is my third eye. And when I look at like chakras or the energy centers in the body, they all have colors. My psychic information comes through color and imagery a lot. Okay, a lot. And so the third eye is blue, and it's the color of my Above Life channel website. It's the color of my banner. It's the color that I've used. I love blue. I've loved blue forever. And it just has this like priestess, feminine empowerment, leaderful kind of guide energy. And I love that. So that's my jam. That feels good to me. But how I am really comfortable with my intuition is through pictures and imagery and little movies, vignettes. And for you, for you, okay, it might be different. You might get information through dream state. You might get information through auditory channels like music in the car or standing in the line at the checkout at the grocery store and you overhear a conversation, but really it's the conversation you're overhearing is messages for you. And that's the only way your healing team is willing to get a word in edgewise because you haven't been checking in with your healing team because you have spiritual support. You have a council of guides that support you in using your psychicness. Okay. And sometimes the spiritual helpers, the actual like psychics that you work with can tap into your guides, and sometimes they can't. Sometimes we can't hear your guides because they're unique to you. Let me grab a tissue here as I need one. Just a minute. Woohoo, child. Woo, allergies. Jeez. So, what do I do with this third eye stuff, right? So, I used to say early on in my work, like I said, I've been doing this for 20 years. I used to say early on that uh, the third eye, clairvoyance is what it's called officially, is like the cool kid gift. Like everybody wants that one. And it's like, oh, please, you guys, we all have that. We all have the capacity to vision. We just block ourselves, right? And it's not always what you think it is. So some people I think are afraid. There's a lot of fear and misunderstanding around clairvoyance. It's not, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to see oogie boogie ghosts walking through your house all the time, or you're going to go to a bed and breakfast and you're going to see some creepy dude standing by your bedside because you opened your third eye. Okay. Or you're going to see the afterlife because you opened your third eye, like at random times, like when you're standing in the grocery store and you're checking out and the person next to you, oh, excuse me, I see your dead grandma. Okay. That only happens on reality television shows. That doesn't happen in real life. Not very often. Okay. And besides, it's not your business to get in other people's business and be that random stranger that needs validation and attention for your ego and not your psychicness. Do you understand what I'm saying here? I have opinions about third eye usage. Okay. I have opinions about psychicness. Like, don't be nosing around in somebody else's energy space unless you got permission to do that from their higher self, from their personal selves, like that. Like, don't be going busting in somebody's house, making yourself coffee and sitting at the kitchen table telling them what you think, because it's not your damn business. So, I got a lot of opinions about that. And you get to have yours. So I'm really sassy today. I am like, zing, zing, zing. I'm on fire today. I have had coffee. I'm on fire this morning. Zing, zing, zing. I'm zinging this morning. So this is how I feel because I'm empathic. You're empathic. And I'm sharing my energy experiences through my expression. You don't have to receive it that way. You get to process it however you are going to process it. However, this makes sense to you. Take what works or what makes sense and what doesn't. Just set it aside. It's totally fine. It's totally okay. Be empowered. You know what's right for you. So the third eye piece, I think, like I said, is very misunderstood. I think people assume that all of a sudden you're going to see ghosts materialize in front of you, or you're going to see your archangel show up and stand, like Michael's going to stand in front of me with his big old wings and all that. Very mythical, very fantasy-like, very gorgeous, like Fabio or something, or some like gorgeous, being. It doesn't work like that. I mean, maybe in the movies it does. And maybe on television it might, if you like kind of set that up, maybe, but it doesn't. I mean, and it's not to say that it can't work like that, because it can. Like I have had spirit guides randomly show up, usually in my kitchen when I'm like making breakfast or doing something like that. Usually it's in the beginning of the day. And I've also had, visitations, what's considered visitations from the afterlife from a family member, or previously celebrities as well. But now I've had boundaries and barriers around who comes in and when, better than I think I've ever had ever since my experience with near death. And so I have much better boundaries with that. And so it doesn't just kind of happen. It happens with the open awareness of intention for that and the invitation for that, and my ability to receive that, So it's not like they just barge in. I mean, it can happen sometimes, I guess, but it's not a common occurrence. I don't want you to think that if you start working on exercises to open your third eye, that you're going to have these all of a sudden experiences that are going to be out of your control, and then you're going to feel like you're crazy and you're not going to be able to make sense of it. It doesn't necessarily happen like that. Okay. So don't be afraid, I guess, is my point. When you are exploring other psychic channels of information, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. A really easy way to start using your third eye, really easy way to start using your third eye is to use card decks, to use cards, because cards create images. They have imagery, basic things like color and symbolism, not just sacred geometry, but like a symbol of a car might mean you're going someplace, that kind of thing. Symbol of a sunrise or sunset, symbol of a moon and the stars in the sky in the evening. And I mean, there's lots of different metaphors and ways that you communicate. And that comes through the third eye and in partnership with your brain. Your brain does work to help support some of your psychicness. It can, if you don't block it. Okay. So I would suggest a really easy card deck. And by easy, I mean something that feels good to you, something that's beautiful. Like I have some card decks that are gorgeous. Like I have a Rumi card deck that is art. It is so beautiful. I also have an open heart card deck that is the art in it is so intoxicating. It is just beautiful, beautiful. But this deck I have, I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head, but it's so, so, so simple and basic. If I think about it, I'll put it on my Above Life channel TikTok page. But as I was talking to you, I pulled a card. So this card could represent a whole bunch of different things, couldn't it? It has a word that helps our brain, right? To connect. And sometimes in clairvoyance, when you visualize things, you can see words. I can actually see words being written. Sometimes I'll ask people like for a name tag or to write their name. And sometimes I can see and sometimes I can't. It's a little tricky. Like for me, at least it is. I'm not great with names in human form anyway, either. I just call people how I know them, which usually isn't maybe this lifetime. Like I might call them their higher self name. Anyway, so instead of me telling you what this means, when you have a card deck that's simple like this, that's a way that you can engage your third eye. You can work with your third eye and say, what does this mean for me? What am I seeing here? Use your tangible vision to see what is standing out for you. Maybe one of these colors is popping out to you. If that's the case, go feel into what that means for you. Is it like your school colors from high school? Is it your chakra, a specific chakra? Is it a particular part of your body that you've been having some issues with and it's time to go to the chiropractor? Is it an energetic that reminds you of nature? Is it an energetic that reminds you of sky, of feminine, of ethereal energy? Is it a grounded energy? Is it a fire energy? Is it a water energy? What does this mean for you? You see how you can, this is why I need you to understand that you are psychic, because you create your reality based upon what you take in as information, partnering with your spirit guides, your higher self, and your energy team, your support team. You create your reality. You create it. Okay. And images, metaphors, using your third eye, using your vision in simple ways like this, like with flashcards, it will create a sort of a library for your mind to be able to utilize, for you to start to make sense of. Okay. Oof. And so for this, to me, like the rainbow colors could mean angels. It could be a nod to the LGBTQIA community. Hello to my friends, all my queer friends. It could mean alignment energetically, all the way from the crown chakra, all the way down to the root chakra. It could mean connection, synchronicity, working together. It could mean layers of support. Lots of support. Okay. All right. Super simple. So for me, third eye, blue. It's my thing, it's my jam, it's my space. So I would encourage you to begin to experiment, explore different psychic gifts, different areas that you recognize as something that maybe, okay, so here's the deal. Here's a good way to do this, I think, is think back on into school when you're in school. Like, how did you learn best? Were you an auditory learner? Did you need to write? Like I did multiple things myself to process. Did you need to write notes? Just the writing of the notes, did that help you focus? Was that your jam? Were you visual? Did you need to like be the person that saw the board, to see the slides, the Google slides and all that? Did you need that? Did you need the visual of the graphs and the charts and things like that? Like that made sense to you? Like, how did you best learn? Because that will give you insight into how you will best be psychic for yourself, into skills and areas that you can focus on for yourself. Like for me, so visual. Like if you're an artist, if you're into like color and you're probably extraordinarily visual. Okay, very visual. So what are the psychic gifts? Clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance, just to name a few, because there's other ones as well. Clairvoyance obviously is sight. Clairaudience is the ability to hear the auditory energetic. So if you're an auditory learner, if you learn really well with vibration, I'm feeling like, oh my God, my team is telling me something. Okay. So it feels like, oh, this is cool. Okay. So we're going to document this because I have no idea if other people have talked about this, but this is cool. So there's kind of this new thing of embodiment where and we've been talking about it. Everybody's been talking about the for years now, the somatics and how the body keeps the score and how the body holds trauma, right? Well, the body is extraordinarily psychic, and we've talked about that here. But now it seems like there's actually a psychic gift that should be called a clair through the body. Clairbodiment, I don't know, clair embodied, where your body, your physical body, and it's not just, and they're showing me it's not just through the senses. Like it's not like, show me more. Wow, this is fucking cool. Shit. And I'm recording all this. It's like live. Oh my God. Okay. There's some stuff coming in apparently now about our bodies and how psychic our bodies are, which I've talked about for a long time, right? But it's actually a clair, like it's actually a psychic skill to and it's sort of like processing with your body. Now, we over process with our body, we over process stress with our body. I know that for a fact. I lived that. That's why my aorta is dissected, right? That's why like stress too much internalized, right? And we internalize emotions as empaths, so this is a common thing. But our bodies our bodies are so, like clairsentience is that sensory heart-based energy, but there's this energy, this clair, this new clairvoyant, this new clair gift that's about the body. It's finally honoring the body. Like there must be studies on this. There must be people talking about this besides the traumatic part of it and how what a detriment our body is, what a bummer it is that we feel in our body, what a crappy thing to do. And maybe it's because of the evolution of like the sacred sexual and the sacred sensual and like tantra energy and kundalini energy. Maybe it's because of that, right? The balance of that with the trauma in the body. Like how do we utilize this life source? It's like a force of nature energy in our body, through our body, without harming our body. And without numbing our body. That's tricky, right? We numb our body. I do. I totally do. Like food is my thing. Okay. Now that I don't drink alcohol, I can't even remember the last time I had, because of my health, right? The only way I can numb my body is really to eat something, probably. I mean, that's the only way I could think of to do it right now. And so because of empathic energy and overpowering energy in the heart space, I'll do that sometimes. I mean, I'll have a Twix bar. I'll have me a caramello. Okay. I'll have me a really good chocolate chip cookie. Okay. Probably not the healthiest thing, but I recognize that, right? But the body is this gift. Oh my goddess, this is such a big deal. And I know I've been talking about it for a long time and it shouldn't seem like a big deal, but it's coming in as I'm talking to you about my third eye and my home base and where I'm comfortable with my psychic gifts and encouraging you to explore the ways that you feel comfortable being psychic and to expand on that. And all of a sudden, what's coming in is this Claire that should be the body, Claire body. I want to know more about what this means. This is fascinating to me. Now, I do know that I've been spending tons and tons of time out in nature and breathing in the fresh air and the breathing in the blue sky, the color of the blue sky and the green, rich grass, and using all my senses in my body. So partnering my clairsentience, my empathicness with my body in a way that is like sweet and an awesome partnership. Like I've been doing that. Like that's just been happening for me over and over and over again the last 6 months. Like, and now I'm at this place where I'm connecting with you and I'm seeing that you might be a person who is psychic in your body. And that is a little bit different. It is different than just sensory emotion. It's different. And you might be an overachiever if you have an autoimmune disease. If you've dealt with cancer, if you've dealt with different kinds of weird things in your body or odd things in your body that have created challenges for you or hurdles for you, if you've got like a diabetes, if you've got an imbalance in blood stuff, or if you have an aortic dissection, for example, you have information based upon where in your body stuff shows up for you and how many different places. Like I clearly have stuff. Like I have had this right shoulder thing for years. I had this, now it's fine. It's pretty much good. But now I got this left shoulder thing that is awful. Like it doesn't work sometimes. It just, my whole arm just goes. And I thought it was like a neurological thing or from not having enough circulation during my my emergency surgery, heart stuff, all that crap, because I couldn't move my left side. That it's not that. It's not that. It's something different. It's physical shoulder, something up with the shoulder, physical, right? And so what is that? What is the connectors of the shoulders? What am I shouldering? What is imbalance? Because it's one side, not the other. Recently, it's been this low back thing, the sacral chakra. That's roots. Where am I rooted? Where are my roots? Am I connected to my ancestors? Am I sourcing my earth energy support? Am I giving back to my lineage by creating life in an active and engaged and in positive, healthy, well way? What am I doing here now? Who am I being? How am I being in this body, with this body that I'm given? Post-accident, post-incident, post-grief, post-trauma, post-loss, post-horrible trauma. We've all had different life experiences and our bodies have gone through a lot. So it would make sense that our bodies are so psychic. So maybe if we partnered with our body in a psychic way, different than what we've thought about before, maybe, just maybe we can unearth, clear out some of this pressure, some of this old limitation, some of this heaviness that we've collectively held as grief, as a society, as a world humanity community. Maybe our body is the key. Maybe this is the next way to be psychic that unites us within ourselves, our spirit, and our body. And then us as a human body functioning, connecting, being honored for what it has, what it's offering, not for its recognition of deficit or triumphs. It's not about that comparison, the contrast of good and bad. And I'm feeling good, I'm feeling bad today. It's not about that. It's about the centeringness. It's about the unification. Then if we're like that within ourselves, then it would make sense that as we show up in communities, in our workplaces, on the soccer fields, and in our religious spaces, in our grocery stores, it would make sense then that we would be more whole as a world community. We would be more human, connected, compassionate beings, energetic, light resources, and strong in our human integrity. Whoa, okay, yeah, this is interesting. This deep, people. I didn't expect this coming from my third eye blue, but I knew something was up because I could, when I sat to do the title for this, that's what came, and I'm like, okay, I just wrote it. Just trusted the process and showed up in my body. So, wow, my friends, thank you so much for being here on Above Life Channel. I hope that your spirit feels inspired. This has been a great conversation today. Thank you in the chat. I see you. Hi, Deja. Nice to see you. Hey, Mary. Hello. Good morning. Hey, T. Nice to see you. The body is the messenger. Yeah, beautiful. Apparently it is, right? Apparently it is. Maybe the body is the deity. Maybe if we start feeling our body as a deity, we would pray to it. We would take better care of it. And I don't mean physical care. I mean emotionally. I mean energetically. I mean altar-wise, worshiping it, appreciating it, meeting it where it's at on a daily basis. Maybe that. Maybe that. So I am doing private sessions. If you would like one, there are links in the descriptions of my video, or you can just go to abovelifechannel.com and pick yours. Pick yours. All right. Hey, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you all. I will see you next week. I hope you have a good week. Yeah. This September. So much to talk about. I could stay on for a couple hours, but I'm not going to. I am going to go outside. I'm going to move this body in nature. Okay. Now remember, we had a card today too. So you can use this to practice for yourself, to work with your intuition, yourself, your clairvoyance for yourself. Okay. Starting with imagery, symbolism, and metaphor. Imagery, symbolism, metaphor. It doesn't matter what somebody else tells you it means. It matters what it means for you when you see it. What does it mean for you? Create your own system. Okay. Do that for yourself. Do it. Okay. All right. Thanks so much for being here. Remember, this is your life after all, and you get to live it. Just live it. Thanks for being here.